Hey guys, welcome to our channel. This is Americans React, and we are a brand new channel. We're reacting to a lot of South Asian content and specifically South Indian. And just a brief introduction, I am Rima.
I'm Jaley.
I'm Randee.
And a namaste from all of us to you guys. Thank you for watching. And please like and subscribe to our channel. We're a new channel, like you say, so we really appreciate your love and support. All right, so today, guys, we're going to be reacting to an interview. We all watched Naatu together. So we're going to be actually reacting to the director of RRR, the film that the song is from. Rajamouli, and he's gonna be breaking down the Oscar-winning song. So he's gonna talk about the behind the scenes of what went on with the song. So hopefully that should be exciting since we've seen the song together. And yeah, definitely a very well-deserved win for India. So all right, without further ado, let me press play and just feel free to give me a thumbs up if you see it on your screen. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Many times. I sometimes watch it on YouTube or go to the streaming platforms and watch the song again. I was worried that I wouldn't give you the notes and I myself will keep watching this song again. Hello, this is S.S. Rajamouli. I'm the director of a Telugu language Indian film RRR, and I'm so happy to be here to give you the notes on the scene, notes on the song Naatu. The first thing that comes to me when we talk about Naatu is the location itself. It was shot in Kiev, actually the presidential palace. This was actually supposed to happen in India, but because it was monsoon time then, so we were trying to scout the locations and we found this and I really loved it. And then they told me it's the presidential palace. I thought,
wow.
Maybe then I have to look for another location. But they said, no, this is Ukraine. You can get the job done. And so thankful for
No
the
big deal.
Ukrainian
Just
team.
have the
colors
palace.
of the palace.
Just a little thing to pause, guys. So basically this happened in Ukraine before the Russian invasion. So this is actually quite, I would say, sort of poignant, right? The fact that they had this opportunity to shoot there. And obviously now the situation is very different, but yeah. And I'll try and pause between the things so, we could sort of discuss the song as well, because the video clip is a bit long, but yeah.
The size of the palace, the size of the ground for the dancers to be there was the exact right size. Because we are talking about Kiev, the beautiful thing about the song that many tend not to notice are the background dancers. If you look here, the bunch here, all of them are not extras, all of them are dancers. And if you can see how the men are not comfortable with this two Indian guys taking their scene over, but the girls are really enjoying the steps. You can see all of them are perfectly enacting the scene before their turn comes when they have to dance. I was really surprised that the level of professionalism the dancers there in Ukraine had. Really loved working with them. The choreographer Prem Rakshit. He has worked with me before. He has worked with Charan before. He has worked with Tarak before. He gave one of the most memorable numbers for both of them. Cool. He knows their style, exactly what their body language is. He exactly knows what their fans expect out of them. Here he has a very difficult job because here both the actors have to dance together. Each of them have their own style, but he has to find out a style which will suit both of them as a dancing style which would be not complicated, because I also wanted him to figure out steps which people would like to do for themselves. So it should be nice. It shouldn't be too difficult. It should suit the style of both the actors, and it should be fantastic. Quite a number of instructions, and he has come up with, you wouldn't believe it, more than 100 variations for this 3/4 signature. Naatu for that line. I remember he sent me the video. It was going on and on and on and on. And I had difficult time picking up the best 3/4 variations for this style. So the first credit to Prem Rakshit.
Yeah, I can't imagine, right? Like the fact that there
Yeah.
was that seems like, it's important. That's the thing. Like, even though it's a song that won, I think the choreography played a big part in it being so popular, right? The hook
Totally.
step,
Absolutely. It's insane. Like, do they speed it up or is that them like
that is them. That's not.
that's I
No.
could not. I have asthma.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I think
Like, how do they
even
breathe? How do they it's a mind blowing.
I know,
and the
100
fact
takes,
that
I couldn't do it once.
Yeah.
I know, and like the fact that he came up with 100 variations of that. Like, I'm curious to now
Wow.
see if they would ever release those other variations, like what could have been.
Yeah,
But
that would be really cool to see.
I know, right? Oh, but that's dedication, like just from the the choreographer. Yeah.
Honestly. Whew.
Rakshit.
I've had enough of this nonsense! You two, out!
No, Jake, I've had enough of your bullying.
Suspenders.
Yeah, it's super cute
This
with the
for me is
suspenders.
the
He also
the
likes it.
best,
Look at his face.
step in
Yeah.
the entire song. The
like,
costume designer Rima, who also happens to be my wife,
Aw.
she didn't give the costumes like a song because it was supposed to be a scene. She gave the costume like a scene, and when Prem saw the dress and he saw the suspenders, he said, "Can I use the suspenders?" She said, "Okay." He composed a couple of steps, and he said, if the suspenders are too tight, they can't be doing it so easily. It has to be a little bit loose for the dance step. So it was Prem's idea to bring the suspenders in. And the funny thing is, like, they had the loose suspenders only for this particular shot. Before and after it were tight suspenders. And just in the before shot, when Jenny, she pulls the suspenders and leaves it and says, "Go," the suspenders were actually the tight suspenders and across their chest, and they had a wince on their face, but they were smiling
no.
until I said cut. And the moment I said cut, they were like walking away in pain.
I could imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, she really snapped it back.
Even for them, this was the most difficult step, doing all the things on the top, the suspenders moving and sliding. Right foot also has to go to the side and come as they are sliding. I would
The
say the
coordination
genius of
at
the
play.
choreographer. When I instructed him, I told him, yes, for the audience,
Like,
this
it
is
was
a
a bit
song,
like the
this is
dance.
fun,
Like,
they're
would you
dancing
say,
and
like, I don't know,
everything.
with some
But
of you,
for the story,
maybe if you have dance backgrounds, like, is it like tap dancing, like how they're doing their legs, the footwork?
Oh,
I
I
would
would have
say-
no idea.
Yeah, I don't think it's tap, but it's definitely a lot of like coordination, moving your feet in different directions with the beat.
Right.
I'm like, top does not
Yeah.
match the bottom. I'm like, how did you guys do it?
Yeah.
this is
I
a song,
remember-
this is fun,
Oh,
they're
sorry.
dancing.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just off note. I remember playing like Guitar Hero World Tour and trying to do the drums. Different thing,
Yeah.
but you got the hands and the feet at the same time. I was like, I can't do it. I can't
It's
do
hard.
it.
Yeah.
So like trying to put that in my brain of like doing the right hand movements and the foot movements, like
And the foot is pretty intricate. Like, if you like
Mhm.
notice it, like you just see the suspenders, but if somebody's watching their feet, it's like, yeah,
it's a lot to look at.
I know. And the fact that they were willing to take the pain of getting, like, so
Snapped.
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
dancing and everything. But for the story, it is actually a fight scene because it starts off with on a bad note. An English guy is coming and insulting them, humiliating them. But both of them are there on a purpose. They cannot really do a fist fight and blow their cover off. It moves into a kind of competition. You're seeing a song, you're seeing a dance, but in effect, you're getting the emotion of a fight. So that's the instruction that I gave Prem. That's what I needed. You see their body language, how they're standing, how their body movement is. It looks like a fight. That's how brilliant Prem is. Sindhil, my cinematographer, this is my 8th film with him. Initially, he shows me what kind of tone that he's looking at for this particular film. He'll give me 2 or 3 references, and then I don't meddle with the lighting or the tonality of the film. My production designer, Sabu, he had a lot of idea on how colonial India was, what the properties
Like
were, what the
pre-independence
costume
India.
colors were.
okay.
He had a lot of ideas, so he was really rushing through Kiev to find the right kinds of properties and all these flower arrangements. Sabu was sitting there with the art director there, and he was particularly telling this color should come at the bottom, this color should come at the top, and he was really putting all his effort into it. And Sendil was there to look at. So I don't look at that at all. My job is to see whether my actors are doing the step the correct way that I want to, their expression is perfect or not. That's the only job I look at it. We were shooting in the presidential palace, like I said, and here is the parliament. Parliament of Ukraine. I was so shocked. I asked my line producer there, is it okay to shoot a song on a full volume right by the side of the parliament in front of the presidential palace? He said, fine, no problem. Go
They're
ahead.
like signing a bill.
The only thing is, it will be in actual metallic in color. In post, we made it like a lime plastered. One more point is all the background musicians who are holding the clarinets, the violins, and all that stuff. They are also actual musicians. I wanted them to be musicians because they hold the violin properly, they hold the clarinet properly, and all that. I asked Anna, is that okay? Can I place the musicians there? Is it okay for them to just stand there and act, not actually play? And, okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Wow.
It's kind of amazing to think of how much detailing went into this song, right? Like, because when we see it, we're just sort of blown away by, I don't know for you guys, like I was just mesmerized by the actors and their dancing.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, just to imagine, like they had real musicians just standing there for their pose, like nothing to do with choreography, just standing
And the
there.
fact that they went back and just really authenticated all the details, like
Right.
insane.
Yeah,
know.
that's really, really cool. Easiest gig ever for those musicians.
I know.
No music to learn? Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Just need to stand and look. But that's a very interesting eye that the director has, right? Like, because
Yeah.
I would imagine like you guys have done some shoots and all. Not everybody pays so much attention to these minor details.
Not at all.
Yeah, I only started watching background characters when I started doing background actor work. And
Yeah.
now I feel like I pay more attention to it. But like, yeah, the fact that he had hired actual musicians just because they held it right. That's I would have never thought of that. I would have probably just been like, oh, there's actors there.
But I would imagine, like, you know, as viewers, even though we don't always pay attention to those little things, I think if it's wrong, you do pay attention. Like if
It
sometimes
sticks out.
yeah, then you're like, oh yeah, what is that? Like sometimes you see that in, I think when you see those people who find out like continuity mistakes or mistakes in like a scene,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they find like a Coke bottle somewhere or a water bottle which is not supposed to be in a timepiece, and yeah, then it kind of catches your eye. But
Especially if you are a musician. Like I have some friends who are musicians, and I'm sure if they see a tuba in the background, it's being held wrong, they'd be like, hey,
you know,
they didn't do their homework.
right? Yeah. So yeah, that's really good.
ఏలు సిటికెలేసేలా ఎప్పారం సాగినట్టు కాలు సింధు తొక్కేలా దుమ్మారం రేగినట్టు ఒళ్ళు చెమట పట్టేలా వీరంగం చేసినట్టు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు.
This is the step which was like on TikTok or all the social media platforms where everyone was trying to do, whether it's friends, brothers, mother and daughter, husband and wife. Everyone were doing the step and posting on the social media, which really went viral and helped the film gain the popularity a lot.
That's like a dream.
I like that effect. I mean, it's not new. It has been used many times where the track goes forward and we zoom back. So the artists are always occupying the full frame, but the background really comes forward. Initially, we tried moving it around, but we are losing the essence of the step. So we used this one, just track forward and zoom back.
భూమి దత్తరిల్లేలా ఒంటిలోని రగతమంత రంకలేసి ఎగిరేలా ఏసే రోయకాయకి నాటు నాటు నాటు.
This is where the nightmare started for the costumers. From a
All the
solid
dust.
ground, we moved on to a place where it was dusty. I wanted the dust to fly, but the costumes were made with such a delicate material, and we were making them do the Naatu step in the dust with this dress, and the dress were getting really, really dirty and spoiled. The costumers had to make 2 dresses, 3 dresses, and every day they had, after the shoot, they had to go and clean them very delicately. It's not that you can put them in a washing machine and take them out. They had to be hand cleaned properly. So after long working hours of working 8 hours a day, the costumers were taking the dresses and cleaning them properly and doing it again.
Wow.
That's sort of those things that
crazy. Like, I haven't seen the movie. I really want to see it after watching this. And the amount of effort just in this dance scene.
Yeah. And it just
and there's so many like dresses, and like how many dresses was that? Like hundreds.
Yeah. So it's insane that they had to do that for all of those backup dancers. And you can't like just put them in the machine. You have to hand wash and
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wowza.
I really like to go lengthy takes. I don't like to cut in between. Here I had a long discussion with my editor on having this group coming into a formation. The idea is like all the guys are with Jake and all the girls are with Ram and Beam, and I wanted this mixed crowd to separate into the girls coming behind Ram and Beam and the boys coming behind Jake. It was clearly established in the top angle shot. For me, it would have been nice if this entire thing was in one single shot. So you can see all the girls coming from the mixed position, and you see from the mixed position all the boys going here. And at the same time, we see Jake is moving this way and Ram and Beam are moving towards this way. It was very well choreographed. But the editor said the punch would be nice if we cut it into 3 or 4 cuts. Well, sometimes even the director, you have to give in to your technicians. I must have seen this song many times, not just on the editing table. Even after the release, I sometimes watch it on YouTube or go to...
You can tell what a perfectionist he is, right? Like he's observing like the minutiae, watching it again and again. But
I know, and almost adjudicating after it's done, you know, like still thinking of what he could have done.
He seems super proud of it though, and like he should be like, damn.
And when he had to say like, sometimes you have to listen to your technicians. He's not very happy about it, you could tell. It's like, I had to relent.
He's like, I had this whole vision, but I guess.
The stream song again, I watched the background dancers. I became a fan of these guys. You can see they are really acting like pros. They are not just dancing, but they had to do the steps wrong sometimes, and they have to express that they are not doing it properly and collapse one by one. I like each and every dancer here. This guy, how they were performing, and you should also see the girls, how Jenny goes back and he pulls her again, the expressions, how the girl just falls down. They're tired, but still really enjoying it. This girl, I think it's a very beautiful frame by Sendil. He got that dark dressed girl in the foreground whereas the action is happening in the background. One of the inspirations for me for these kind of frames is a completely different thing. In 10 Commandments, when the sea is parting, there is a shot of 3 ladies watching what is happening in front of them. And the arrangement is like a painting. It's not exactly like that, but a kind of inspiration is from there.
Wow.
Yeah, who would have thought, right? Like
he really notices everything, like every dancer. Yeah, that's...
And like the shape of like how they're posing and how it's sort of reminiscent of a paint. But that's kind of maybe all these things, like though we don't notice it, but subconsciously we're like finding it. Yeah, definitely can tell that, you know, as far as hard work goes, this song definitely deserves it. Yeah.
Yeah, when it won the Oscar, I remember I had an Oscar party here, and I was like, "Oh, like that's amazing that an Indian film won that." But I hadn't seen it; I didn't know anything about it, and so now I'm like, "Okay, yes, well deserved."
Right.
Yeah, I was hype when it won.
Yeah,
I know, same here. I was like ecstatic, but yeah, no. After seeing the song, you're like, yeah, no, give them the Oscar.
yeah, give them all
It's
the Oscars.
incredible. Yeah, down to even he like homages the background actors so frequently, and it's like that's such a testament to how active and high energy, and like every single person there was on point. Like
Yeah. And it's
And
also
seeing it
nice.
back,
Yeah.
it's
sorry,
a
go ahead.
long day. I mean, I'm sure, especially moving around so much like this, like.
Yeah.
I can't imagine some of the manic energy they must have had when they were laughing. They're like, "I'm so tired, but I'm having so much fun."
exactly, yeah.
And just the fact that he's acknowledging them, like sometimes people don't, and so it's sort of good that he has that humility, and it's nice to see him like kind of being like, yeah, these people, like, look at their expressions, because you should give credit to these dancers, right? And a lot of people don't often kind
Yeah.
of prioritize them, but yeah.
It's quite refreshing that he really acknowledges everybody, down to the technician.
Yeah. It's great. He understands.
Oh, sorry, but
He
yeah.
just understands how it was all pulled together. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I know they're laying in it.
And look at the guy's expression when Jake falls down. These guys, absolutely perfect. Tarak and Sharon are really exceptionally good dancers. I always feel dance is not about how acrobatic you are, how perfectly you can do your step. There are two important things. One is that you should really, really enjoy your dance. Only then can audience really get the enjoyment out of your dance. And second thing is, like, in every moment on the dance, you are conveying something to the audience, some kind of emotion. They really infused that energy. They're conveying that even though we are humiliated by you, we have this weapon of giving it back to you. Quite a subtle and difficult emotion to portray, but these two guys nailed it. So the Indians have won. Actually, the story is over, but we know that N.T. Rama Rao and Ram Charan are two top heroes, commercial heroes, and the fans would love to see them compete against each other. They continue the dance, looking at each other like, okay, we defeated them. What about you and me?
Wow, so they planned it. I didn't realize that this was like sort of planned behind their star power, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Me
because
neither. I
these
thought it
guys
was
are
just like a
like
coincidence.
huge.
yeah, they're huge. Like, I was gonna tell you guys, for even the channel, like some of the comments that we've received so far, like people really are very dedicated to their to their favorite actors. So yeah, like I could totally see him knowing the sort of the scope and the loyalty that these two actors have. It's like, yeah, you guys need to fight off each other.
That's
Not
awesome.
compete, yeah. So
That wow expression of Jenny is the best. There are countless messages, memes, everything saying that the entire audience expression towards the song is exactly that. And when this shot was made, the dust really flew. Everyone in the unit were coming into the tent and like peeking in, looking in, can we say that again? Can we play this again? This was the shot that everyone really, really loved. She's rooting for Beam Akhtar at that point of time, and he sees that Jenny is in love with Akhtar and he loses.
Still going.
Being his innocent self, he doesn't get it. He continues dances and he finishes it. For me, Naatu Naatu
I love how
He doesn't get it.
I know. He's like, yeah, you're too innocent to get it, which is a very polite way to say it. But
Yeah, very diplomatic, very sweet.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, but I think that's like well thought out, right? Like just the whole like I did you guys get it when we first watched it that he purposely lost? Did you guys get that sense?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think I did the first time.
Just because the way he looks over at her,
Yeah.
and then
And
like,
it gets a
suddenly
leg
your legs
cramp.
cramping after all of that.
I know.
Like,
I feel like you had a little bit more in you. I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we don't really know who won in the competition because if he had stayed, maybe he would have. Yeah. All right.
One of the reasons why I think it is such a hit is not just because of the music, not just because of the dance, because there is a beautiful story in itself. The entire story of RRR is within that 10 minutes of Naatu lead scene and the complete song. No one in America or across the world really knows the meaning of the lyrics, but it is the catchiness of the lyric, the way the flows. I think that is the credit should be given to Chandra Bose, the lyricist. We had a blast shooting it. We had a blast enjoying the audiences having the blast. Thank you everyone for who were involved in Naatu Naatu.
Aw. All right. So what did you guys think of the whole like behind the scenes? Like now that you know the story behind the scenes.
I'm honestly blown away just the amount of effort that went into every aspect of creating that. I'm like, no wonder it was so amazing. Like,
Yeah. I'm still like the costuming thing.
Yeah.
The fact that they wanted to keep the costume so pristine, everybody had like 3. I thought I like briefly about that when they had the dust everywhere. I was like, oh, those costumes, but I just figured they'd do one and go. Do you know how long it took them to film this?
I
that's such a
think
good
it was
question.
definitely 9 days or something, like an insane amount, because there was a separate interview Variety which I was looking at, and that one the actors said that it was like a huge, like a long shoot. In fact, this director, like the movie itself took 4 years to make. 4 years of filming this thing, and they had several shoots that were like 69 days long, or like I don't know 20 days long, where they would have to keep repeating a shot for so the song itself was apparently, like what one of the actors said, was a bit of a torture, like a sweet torture, because they won in the end. I mean, they won the Oscar, but
yeah 9 days. I feel like that's not that long.
I was just
I know like
thinking,
some
that's pretty
shows
short.
like some HBO shows spend 3 weeks on one episode.
So Fred was saying it's 20. Sorry, it's not 9.
So,
okay. Yeah, so that's more that makes more sense.
Thank you, Fred.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, still that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was saying he prefers longer takes. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, so that means you really have to go hard for a long time. And then if it's not the take, again. I'm like, oh, holy smokes.
Yeah, no, he's not. I mean, from what you hear, it's not easy working for him because, again, he's a perfectionist. You can tell that he loves. I mean, it comes from a place of love, right? So he obviously wants it to be the best for the audiences, and but yeah, I mean, like all, I guess, great directors, it's not always easy, kind of meeting those expectations, I'm sure. But
I feel like it could be a difficult to work for him, but also immensely rewarding as long as you're able to take direction and stick with it. Because like we were talking about before, the attention to detail and the care for each and every background actor, not just the principals,
right,
is like that's what makes it so concise and so together. We'll watch more of what he's done before.
I know there is more, and hopefully we'll check out more of his movies. There's one Bahubali, a film that he did before RRR that was also very big. So hopefully we'll get to see that. But yeah, guys, this was our reaction to SS Rajamouli, the director of RRR, and his behind the scenes of the Oscar-winning song Naatu Naatu. Hopefully you liked our reaction. And if you did, please leave comments down below what other songs of Rajamouli or Telugu songs of Ram Charan and NTR Jr. should we react to next. We'd love to check out more of this. And of course, we loved, Naatu Naatu from RRR. So let us know. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.